Everyone, I hope everybody is great. Welcome to Inspiration, Influence, and Income, hosted by Danielle Winningham. And today we're going to be interviewing my guest, Kiarra Solomon. Kiarra is actually one of my clients, been a client of mine for a little over a year. And I'm launching a new program called the Black Code, where you build your business, you launch your products or service, and as a result of work and planning, you eventually either quit your job or you quit being broke. And that's the intention. And you can really have any type of desire that you want. For Kiarra, her why was that she wanted to stay at home with her son. And her first son is named George. And George was at the time about 9 years old. And later, Kiarra became pregnant again with her second son. And as a result of that, Kiarra has not only been able to build her business, make it profitable, increase her income by 3, but she also gets to stay at home with her son, Josiah, who is right at 5 months old. So I'm super excited to introduce to you Kiarra this morning on my brand new podcast on Spreaker, Inspiration, Influence, and Income. We're going to be talking about where she got the inspiration, where she got the influence, and how she created the income to build a profitable business so she could live her dreams. And so share this with your friends, share this with others, and help join me in welcoming Kiarra. Good morning, Kiarra.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Josiah.
Good morning. You got that camera right, girl?
I'm trying.
Okay, great. So let's talk about where you were this time last year. Let's just rewind the tape.
So this time last year, I actually just quit, right? So, and literally 1 week after I turned in my resignation, I found out that I was expecting Josiah. So, of course, you guys can imagine I was very, very nervous, very, very overwhelmed. I didn't know if it was going to work, right? I had been making money in my business consistently, but I wasn't sure that the whole house wasn't going to come tumbling down and we were going to be poor. I wasn't sure. And so I followed the blueprint. And that's the amazing thing about having somebody who has gone before you to be able to give you guidance and be able to assist you on your journey, guys. If you're thinking about quitting, you can't go out there by yourself. And so the beautiful thing was that I had someone who had already done it, who had a blueprint that actually worked. And I decided, you know what, even if it doesn't look like I think it's going to work, I'm just going to stick to the blueprint and I'm just going to do what I'm told, right? And then I'm going to pray that it works out. And the amazing thing, guys, was that it worked. And so if you are even close to where I was, which is, you're making consistent money in your business, or even before I was making consistent money, when I first started coaching with Danielle, I had made $500
wow.
every single month, for a year. And so to go from barely making $500 a month to being able to not 1x, not just make the income, not just make double the income, but to make 3 times what I was making before. And I had a pretty good job. I wasn't making $1 million, but I was making pretty good money for me and my family. To 3x the income and have the comfort of being at home every single day, it really, really, really is amazing.
Somebody, and I see Josiah in the shot. Hey, good morning, Josiah. Josiah is our other guest this morning. He's 5 months old. And Kiarra literally takes Josiah everywhere she goes. And if I could have met myself 20 years ago, of course, my kids, Hope and Faith, are in college now. Tyler's an adult. But if I could have met myself 20 years ago and given myself this same blueprint, and somebody said that a blueprint is just a plan. Yes and no. Yes and no. Because this blueprint cost me the better part of a couple $100,000 over about 6 years to develop. So when I hand you a plan, I'm not just handing you something that I think works. I'm handing you the plan that made me over $600,000 last year. I'm handing you the plan that got me over 150,000 followers on social media. I'm handing you the plan that has allowed me to connect tens of thousands of women, and that has allowed me to build a network of tens of thousands of women over the last 6 years. So yeah, you can sit and write a plan right now on how to exit your job. I did it. I left my job as a vice president of JP Morgan Chase. And so the plan that I hand to my clients is not a hypothesis. It's not something that I created in the lab. It's something that I got out here in these internet streets and I made work.
And Danielle, if I could just say, one of the things that I had to admit was that I had been planning for years to leave my job. Ooh. Right? I had been sick of the job for a long time. And so it wasn't just creating a plan and saying, okay, I'm going to do this, but it was having the right strategy. It was not having somebody who could help me to not fall into those pit holes or potholes that I was going to, of course, encounter along the way, as opposed to doing it on my own, not knowing what I was doing, trying to piecemeal stuff together from people's free stuff, because, we all do that. We think we read a book or watched the free training and now we know the secrets. And so I had to get real with myself. And I remember having a conversation, and Danielle, I've told you this plenty of times before, with one of my friends when I finally decided to invest. And I wasn't making a major investment, but I was investing. And she said, "You're going to pay that lady to teach you how to do this?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to pay that lady. I'm going to work with that lady," because something was telling me that it was time to make that transition. And so some of you have been watching or been connected for a while, and there are people around you who may be discouraging you, who may be saying to you, "You don't need to pay her. She don't know what she's doing." That's not it. I want to tell you that sometimes you got to make a decision for yourself to ignore what other people are saying around you. It's not that they don't want what's best for you. They just don't know your journey. It's not their assignment. And if I had have listened to that friend and not signed up with that lady, I would still be in the same job. I would still be making the same amount of money. And God knows where my kids would be, right? Because I get to be here every day with Josiah. I might have to drop him off at a daycare or, some family member. So if you were able to do it for yourself and by yourself,
you'd have done it already. That is what I tell people all the time. You can sit and watch me all day and you think you getting everything you need to go out there and build, but there's some stuff that you don't see behind the scenes. There's a lot of strategy and stuff that you don't see behind the scenes. And what I teach my clients is the art of execution. There are a ton of coaches that will give you a plan. There's not a ton of coaches that are going to push you out of the nest and require that you fly. And so I hope you guys understand this is not about multi-level marketing. This is not a multi-level marketing company. This is me taking all of your years of work experience. This is me taking all of your years of knowledge of the world and building it into some type of business that the world will pay you for. And we've discounted our skills and our gifts so much that we've forgotten that the same way a job will pay you, the world will pay you. There is something that every one of us is capable of, something that we all have in our two hands that will save us. Will save us financially. It will save us mentally. It will save us physically. We don't have to beat our bodies up standing up at work or standing in a line, but you've got to believe in yourself enough to make that investment, to get the knowledge. And the amazing thing is, what always just blows my mind is that business consulting, business coaching, marketing, the tools you need to be successful, they're all tax deductible.
Right. Right.
They're all tax deductible. And so it amazes me that people in business will not invest in conferences, workshops, hiring coaches to take their businesses to where they're profitable. I had a conversation yesterday with somebody on the phone who is in a multi-level marketing company. And when I asked her how much money did she make, she said, about 200. I said, about 200 a week? She said, no, 200 a month. And if you don't have your bottom line, if you don't have your eye on the bottom line, right? And or if you're so arrogant, someone just posted, I do my own business research. I went ahead and escorted them out of the room. If you don't have if your ego is such that you don't feel that you can get help, even when it's biblical and it says my people perish from lack of knowledge, then how do you expect to ever move to the next level? So Kiarra, let's talk about bottom lines. Because that's one thing I do with my clients. You know, I love Josiah. I love George. Those are my babies. But unless I can keep my clients focused on the bottom line, then nothing happens. So let's talk about bottom line focus, Kiarra.
So the thing that I love about coaching with you is that you are always pulling out the calculator, right? Let's talk about how much is this going to make you. And my very first encounter with Danielle, for those of you who don't know, I was online and I was teaching and just doing my thing because I knew what I was doing. And I was out there and I was like, yeah, y'all, here's some tips for you. And I was getting people to sign up. And Danielle ran up on me.
I ran up on you in the internet streets.
She ran up on me and she said, no, come here, let me show you something. And so one of the things, I'm from Philly, and so one of the things I always say is, I don't blame you, I blame your old head. Well, she gripped me up just like an old head would and said, let me show you something real fast, young lady. This is not how you do it. And she showed me literally in a 5-minute conversation how I could have made $5,000 from what I was teaching for free. And so some of you guys, especially those of us who are really, really smart, you said something very powerful. Sometimes we don't recognize the gifts and the talents that we have in our hand. And so every conversation that I have with Danielle is a money-making conversation. But it's not just, I may say I'm going to be able to make $2,000 from this. And Danielle will flip it, slice it, turn it around.
Smack it, flip it, rub it down. Oh, no, we're going to make $5,000. We're going to make $10,000. Yes.
And so I'm going from, and I shared this on a training that I did yesterday. I never had earned in any of my jobs more than $50,000 a year. I had tons of titles and tons of, responsibilities and leverage, but they weren't paying me. And what I realized was that nobody was going to be able to pay me what I was really worth because my worth was so much more. See, what you got to understand is that your employer is making an investment into their own success. They're not paying you $30,000 or $50,000 because that's what you're worth. They're making an investment and they expect a return on that investment. So when I left my job, and if you guys can follow me and do math, if I was making $50K a year and we 3x my income, that means that I'm making $150K in less than a year.
Less than a year.
In less than a year. The comfort level for my family has increased. I don't have to worry don't have to worry about not being able to pay my son's tuition. We recently took vacation and went to San Diego. I was able to let my 10-year-old just do whatever he wanted to do, and I didn't have to say, do I have the money, or are we going to be able to do it? And I used to struggle, guys. I used to not be able to know if I was going to pay my bills month to month. And so you got to ask yourself, is that the kind of life that God really wants you to live? Does God really intend for you to be so poor that your children don't even come home and ask for anything because they know you don't got it?
Ooh.
Does God desire for you to have so little that when you come in the house, you're not even sure if your light's going to come on when you click the switch?
Ooh, that's so deep, Kiarra. You know, it's afraid as you may be, and I'm not asking you not to be afraid. I'm asking you to do something to save yourself in spite of the fear. The Black Code starts November 9th. It's the beginning of the journey. Whether you're new in business or whether you're not, whether you're been in business forever, you're going to learn some stuff from me. And from Kiarra just being brutally honest and transparent. JoJo, get away from the microphone. And saying, you know, there were times that I didn't know if I was going to be able to pay my bills. And to move into a mindset. Here's the thing. With what I teach you, it don't matter how much you got in the bank. Kiarra called me and say, oh, I got to pay JoJo. I got to pay George's tuition, or George needs some new uniforms because he's growing. I say, you know what to do? Get out there on your money maker. Create something that will make some money. And that's what I teach you in the Black Code. I teach you to build products and services, launch products and services, and make money. I'm going to say it again. I teach you to build out of nothing. Baby, one thing I can tell you, my clients will tell you, is we create money out of thin air. There's something that you know, and you know it so well that you have discounted the fact that other people need it.
Right.
You do it so much that you have discounted it. A. Barnes, you keep talking about a book published. This is far beyond a book. So let me get on the calculator real quick and talk to you about what happens if you only have a $20 product. And if you're interested in enrolling in the Black Code, the link is bit.ly/BLAQCODE. BLAQCODE. If you have a $20 product, which that's what a book is, the most you're going to get out of a book is $20. Please tell me how many you need to make $100,000. We just talking about 100,000. We ain't even got to the million mark yet. So carry the 1 divided by 2. You need to sell 5,000 books. 5,000 books just to make 6 figures. I teach you not only how to crank books out, because I got another client I'm going to be interviewing, Alto B. Spelzer. She's written 8 books. I have 12 books on Amazon. We crank books out. Books are nothing for us.
Right.
Didn't you just write a book last weekend, Kiarra?
Wrote a book. It was an Amazon bestseller, then turned around, wrote another book.
Yeah. So we write books. Books are not the crux of your money. You can write a book all day and still be at a job struck. Look, Alto V said writing a book for us is a weekend task. You better ask somebody. So I expand your knowledge on how to build. That's something I teach you, how long they need to be, Deborah. That's something I teach. But I expand your knowledge on how to build and build correctly. So once you have this knowledge on building, you can always go back and build whatever you want. You're not limited. You're not limited to building one thing. If you see a problem in the world, and I was telling you guys that I was studying billionaires yesterday. That's my new pursuit. Because I studied millionaires until I got within the million mark. Now that I'm within the million mark, I'm studying billionaires. And in studying those billionaires, I saw a couple of commonalities, but I saw how they were builders. I saw how they would build a NFL franchise. Then they would go build a car dealership. Then they would build a real estate company. Billionaires are builders. They might as well call them billionaires, because they are always building. They are always creating solutions to the world's problems. You doubt that? Look at Bill Gates. He was a billionaire. He built Microsoft. You look at Steve Jobs. He was a billionaire. He built Apple. You look at Elon Musk and Russell Brunson. It doesn't matter. You can look at any billionaire on the planet, and they were building something. Michael Jordan built a NBA team and then built an iconic shoe brand. Oprah Winfrey built a nationally acclaimed television show and then went on to build her own network. If you look at any billionaire, they're always building. So you have to learn to build. And in fact, even if you're brand new to business, if you come with an open mind, you don't have to have a business already to register for the Black Code. And even if you do, I promise you, it's going to teach you some fundamentals that you missed in building your business.
Right. And that's the important thing, guys, that sometimes we get started because we're in a rush to earn more. And you may be like I was. I needed to make more money. I needed my business to be successful. But in the rush to try to make money, I had missed some serious fundamentals. And because of that, I couldn't grow. I couldn't reach my full capacity because I didn't have certain things in place. And so that's very important. And then I want to say, because somebody said they owe it to themselves. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your children. You owe it to your children's children to be successful. You were supposed to leave your family in a better position when you leave this earth than had you not been here. And so some of you guys may really be afraid of your greatness, may really be afraid of, what is my family going to say? What are my friends going to say? You know what I had to do? I had to look around and see how many people was coming to pay bills when bills was due on the first of the month. I had to look around and see how many people could I call if George needed something for school. How many people was sending me money in the mail, and how many people was really concerned about how good me and my children were doing. And when I saw that it wasn't very many, then I stopped being concerned about what people had to say about me. I stopped being concerned about what people thought about me. I stopped being concerned about how they was going to feel if I was posting about my business every day on social media. If I was always talking about my business on Facebook, if I was always talking about my business on Instagram. Because if you don't like it, you can unfollow me. And so you got to ask yourself, what do I really want out of this life? What do I really want? Some of you may feel like it's too late to follow your dreams. I talked to somebody this morning, coach, who said, well, I'm too old and it's too late. And I said, listen, he woke you up this morning. What you mean it's too late? You still got a whole another 24 hours. And until you not here, you need to move like you are. Take the grace that God has given you to fix the things that you've done wrong in the past. If you feel like you were given opportunities before and you didn't execute, you might have meant to sign up for the Black Code the last time or the first time. If God has given you another opportunity, and listen, not only has He given you another opportunity, but this time I think the options are more affordable for you to sign up for the Black Code. Why wouldn't you take a chance on yourself? When you're asking everybody else to bet on you, why wouldn't you bet on yourself?
Wow, Kiarra, you said a lot. I mean, this is so good. People fail to realize that it took Colonel Sanders until he was 67 years old. It took so many people longer But you're right. If God still woke you up, you still got time. But how many more opportunities are you going to squander? You can't keep saying you hate your job and then doing nothing about it. You can't keep saying that I don't like this life and then not being willing. Guys, when I created this program and I made the price $77 a week for the light and $99 for the premium, I looked at my own life and where I've come from. As a struggling mother, single mother of 3 kids, if there were an opportunity that cost me $99 a month or $99 a week, I knew that I could go make 5 cakes and come up with $100. You can make money or you can make excuses. You can make a way to sign up. And now you can drive Uber and Lyft. And there's so many things you can do now that I didn't have the opportunity to do 20 years ago. And yet you squander. You walk past these opportunities every single day as if they're going to be here forever. And it blows my mind. Go ahead, Kiarra. I was just going to say, it blows my mind that you can actually, in this day and age, see millionaires that look like you. See, back in the Gap, you didn't see many millionaires. You saw old girl that did the perm, Madam CJ Walker, but you didn't see many millionaires that looked like you. There weren't a lot of women millionaires, and there definitely were not a lot of African American or women of color millionaires. So now you can see people walking around like me on a millionaire path. Like Kiarra, I told her one day on the phone, you know, you're gonna be in the millionaire lane before you know it. You can actually see people that came from where you came from on a path to do the unheard of, and you won't join in. And I'm going to say one more thing, and I'm going to turn it back over to Kiarra. Kiarra made a comment earlier when other people were giving her feedback about whether or not to join my coaching program. And I said, she said, who of them was checking to see what she needed? Who was checking on her kids? Who was checking on her tuition? But now I check. This community will check on you. This community will check on you if your mama's sick. This community will check on you if you come up missing at Walmart. This community will check on you if you're not launching the way you should. This community is engaged and about your success. And I've never seen another community like it. So if you need some cheerleaders, you need somebody to push you along the path, this is the place. You're not going to get it anywhere else for any amount. For any amount. So she said wasn't nobody checking on her before, but she got somebody checking on her now.
Right. And that's so true. It's so true, guys, that, you know, throughout, and for those of you who know me and follow me, I see some of my followers here, you know that my pregnancy was rough, and I had support through, you know, my entire pregnancy from the community. I had support when I was worried, when I was scared, when I first quit my job, and I was like, yo, what's up? I need some help. I'm finna drown over here. So, you know, if you, and this is something that I was saying to a group of friends over the weekend, if you want to go somewhere new, you got to, sometimes it's not that your friends and your family don't want the best for you. It's not that they don't love you. It's that they don't have the capacity to see and to understand where you're going. And so you got to get yourself into some new circles. You got to get yourself around new people. You have to be willing to learn and open your mind so that you can free yourself. See, some of us not going to get free because we think we know it all. It's just like when Harry and Tubman was trying to free the slaves. Some of them ain't get free because they thought they knew. They knew everything. And some of us are waiting for somebody to come and yourself. It's time for you to decide that you want to do something different. And so, at the end of the day, it's really all on you. What are you going to do? You can't sit here and say, I see so many comments. Yes, this is helping me. Yes, this is exactly what I needed. I assume that all of you who are making those comments are making a decision to make an investment in yourself.
You know what? I will be honest. A lot of them, Elle is a client already. Celia just signed up for the Black Code. So a lot of them, Kathy has been my client in the past. Roz is in UCU. Adonna's in UCU. So a lot of them are. And now there are a lot of people sitting on the sidelines. And a lot of times, and even because Pastor Cassandra said, connect to what has capacity. This community has capacity. And something that is priceless. Because that is the purpose of community. It's not just that you learn from me, but you learn from the community. And regardless as to what your why is, Kiarra's why was so she could stay at home with Josiah. My why is so that I can live a different type of lifestyle. And it's not an overnight process. That's another thing I wanted to point out. After the Black Code, we're going to ask you to keep going. And it doesn't matter. Somebody just said, I'm abroad in Ireland. It doesn't matter. The classes are virtual. Go to bit.ly/BLAQCODE, Black Code. And so you've got to make a decision to make an investment in the life you want and to shed the life you don't want like an old cocoon.
Yes.
And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I will tell you it's worth it. Black stands for build, launch, and quit. Somebody said, I have trouble launching. Kiarra, tell them about what I teach you guys about launching.
The amazing thing is that coach is not just a watch, here's this template, now go it on your own. But she's a watch me do it type of coach. She's there's a difference between, and some of you guys don't know this yet because you've never had a business coach. There's a difference between taking a training or taking a course or signing up for a program and getting a coach. Because if you watch sports, if you watch athletics, then you'll see that the coach is out there in the field, standing next to you, running those laps with you, taking you through play-by-play of what you need to do. And that is so what coach does for you. Okay, she gives you it can't be any easier once you get in a class and you see the step-by-step. Literally, the moment I went from watching you on live stream and watching you on Periscope to being in a course, it was like the veil was ripped off. Everything was so much clearer. And I was like, oh, okay, I can actually do this too. And so that's what I mean when I say to you guys, you can't just sit here and watch these live videos and think that you're going to get what you need. You have to be present so that you can see, and also so that you can have somebody in the field who is helping you to execute, who is running those laps. And I think that's one of the things that I admire about you the most, because the first class that I signed up for had over 100 people in the class, and she knew everybody by name, and she knew everybody's business, and she remembered week to week what questions they was asking. And I said, this is what a coach looks like. This is somebody who is invested in your success. And so I just really can't stress to you. I know that there are a lot of people out there who have training videos and who have training programs and who have things that you can invest in. And you may be at this time, trying to decide, do I go with this or do I go with this one? If you're the type of person who needs somebody to do it with you, if you're the type of person who wants somebody to hold you accountable, if you really want a step-by-step strategy, the Black Code is where you're going to get that step-by-step strategy and the support that you need to be able to execute it and bring your business to life, to build. I'm so proud of my business right now, y'all. I can't tell you
Wow, Kiarra, let me tell you something. And I keep telling them it's tax deductible. Please listen to me. Even if you don't hire me, hire somebody. Especially as women, we must secure our future. So my mission is not that you hire me and pay me. My mission is that you hire someone and secure your future. When Moses was running away from the Pharaoh, and he ran into the Red Sea, and he had the Red Sea in front of him, and he had the hills and mountains to the left and the right, and he had the soldiers behind him, and he said, God, what do I do? The Lord told him, Moses, use what's in your hand. I don't care who you are. I can teach you to use what's in your hand. You may not think anything is in your hand. But see, my gift as a coach is to see greater for you that you can see for yourself, and then to show it to you so we can build it and put it out into the world for other people who need what you have. We have a great creator. And because he's a creator and he created us in his image, he created us to create. And as long as you're creating, you will never be broke. Let me help you. If you could have done it by yourself, you would have done it already. So don't say this is confirmation. This is confirmation you need a coach. You were put here for a reason on this day. On this day, you need a blueprint for the next level. And the black code is it. If you follow the code, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life. bit.ly/BLAQ code. Go ahead, Kiarra.
I just was going to say I 100% agree. I really do. I'm so thankful that I made that decision. I'm sitting here thinking about, I could have went left instead of coming right. And so I'm just so thankful that I made that decision. It really changed my life. And Coach has a heart to help. And that's what I love about you. You're just such a beautiful spirit. People don't know you, but I know you.
Tell them the truth, Kiarra. Now, I am tough. Tell the folks the truth now.
You are tough. But it's a tough love. It's a good, and here's the reality. We need somebody. I needed somebody like you. I needed somebody like you who was going to be like, nah, boo, get out there. I ain't trying here today. I'm not. What are you launching? What are you launching, Kiarra? I don't know. I think that I'm just going to relax this week. No. What are you launching? What are you doing? And I think that some of you guys have gotten so complacent because you think that what you're doing is good enough. You don't have somebody who's holding you accountable to your greatness. You don't have somebody who's saying to you, right, JoJo? You don't have somebody who's saying to you, what are you launching, right? Also, be some brick sandwiches. They will come. Hey, what are you doing with your business? Are you executing what we've been going over? Where are you? We haven't seen you. I haven't seen you do anything. And that's important. It's important to your success.
And
so, that's all I have to say.
And that's me and Kiarra's private joke. Is anytime anybody come and ask you for information, it's a sign that you should be building something to answer that question. So anytime somebody comes and says, hey, Coach, how do you do such and such? I say, I'm glad you asked. I got a class coming up for that. And the generational wealth and legacy that we are creating right now, will rival Zig Ziglar and Dr. Miles Monroe and Dr. Wayne Dwyer, because we have the video capabilities for our messages, our words, our creations to live forever. And it changes everything. It changes everything. So I really feel like we all need a coach all the time. If the government is going to pay for a coach for me, Dad, blame it, I'm going to have one. I'm serious. We've got to start investing like rich people do if we want to be rich. If rich people invest in wise counsel. It is a tax deduction. So why wouldn't you? When they're talking about how much they paid for this lawyer and that lawyer, they wrote that off on their taxes, baby, as a business expense. So they think to themselves, why not hire the best lawyer so I can increase my chances of winning my case? I'm going to write off on my taxes anyway. So then your next question comes, why not hire support for your business? I've talked to 2 different women in 2 different days. One had a dental practice that she lost. $500,000 dental practice. $500,000 dental practice that she lost. I asked her one question. In 2 minutes, I asked her one question that would have saved her practice. And the question I asked her was, how many dental clients do you need to have in a year in order to stay above water? She said she didn't know. She could tell me how many she had. She could tell me how many she was bringing in a month. But I bet had she known, see, hindsight is 2020. Had she known how many clients she should have been bringing in a month to stay above water, she would have done it. But she did not have anybody asking her the right questions about the sustainability of her business to keep her head above water. Second client, fitness industry, 100K business under. Why? Because brick and mortars are failing right now at the speed of light. Take a page out of Walmart's book. Sometimes you got to pivot. Sometimes you got to change your physical business makeup in order to be successful. So 2 clients, I could have saved them both. The thing is, don't wait until you're drowning. Don't wait until your pockets are empty to say, Coach, I wish I could have afforded you. Don't wait until your job laid you off and saying, come on, Coach, what we need to do now. If you're here for a reason. Now, I have another interview today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central. Now, Kiarra's why was, I want to stay at home with my babies. This next client I'm interviewing, she don't even have kids. Guys, but this is about freedom. Can you type it in real quick for me? Can you type in freedom? The freedom to do whatever you want to do with your time. You don't have to invest it at a job. You don't have to invest it in traffic. But you do have to invest in not just revenue. You got to invest time, energy, effort, and the thought process.
Right.
There shouldn't be a person on here that is not saying to themselves, I want freedom and I want freedom now. But just like Kiarra said earlier, when they asked Harriet Tubman, how many slaves did you free? She said, I freed hundreds. And I could have freed hundreds more had they only known they were slaves. Some of y'all don't know you slaves. You slaves to complacency. You slaves to procrastination. You're slaves to perfection. You're slaves to what the world has told you you're able to accomplish. You're slaves to playing small. You're slaves to not investing your money to get free. But if you really want freedom, you'll go after freedom and you'll do whatever it takes in order to be free. And I suggest you start with the Black Code. Go ahead. Who you talking to, Kiarra?
I was saying I got to go, but thank you guys so much. It was so fun being here with you. And I really hope to see each and every one of you a part of our community. It is an amazing community to be a part of. and it's just so welcoming. So not just me, but all of the other members of our awesome community are going to open you with welcome arms. We can't wait to meet you, new Black Code enrollees. Bye.
Bye, Kiarra. So the Black Code has 2 different days. The $99 class, I show up every single week. I teach every week, and I have a Q&A every single week, and it is on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. The $77 class is on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. I come to that class once a month and answer questions, but they work very good in a group. You get all of the videos from the other classes, and again, you build. I always say, if you're going to enroll, go for the 99. I created the 77 for those who absolutely, positively could not afford an additional $22 a week. But I'm one of those folks that I say, make it happen. Go make it happen. Find a way. This is where you start to stretch for your next level. bit.ly/BLAQ code. People are already signing up. There are some amazing early bird bonuses, including the 100K vision board party I'm doing this Sunday at 7 p.m. You may ask yourself, why are we starting with a vision board party? And if you've never done a vision board party with me before, you're going to know it's far from a party. But until you can see your first 6 figures, you cannot materialize your first six figures. Everything starts with your vision. Everything starts with your vision and your ability to be able to see yourself accomplishing great things. And I told you guys yesterday, as it relates to revenue, you can't see your first 6 figures when your feet are flat on the ground. As you start to elevate and you move to 50,000, like Kiarra said, she was at 50,000. She moved. She could see 100,000. She moved up. She could see 150,000. She moved up, and now that she's at 150,000, she could see 1 million. It is all about movement, and that all movement is relative. The world is waiting on you to be great. The world is waiting on you. You have something. You have something to give the world. And do me a favor, don't inbox me. I know you're excited. Don't inbox me. Don't go out there to bit.ly/blackcode. See what all is included. And for those people that already sign up, the first 50 people that sign up get a one-on-one with me valued at $1,000. You get a Jumpstart one-on-one. And Kiarra told you herself, my one-on-ones shift your money that fast. They shift your mind that fast. They shift your life that fast. Stop making up reasons why your greatness is not birthed on this planet. And start birthing. Start building. What I tell y'all earlier, billionaires build. You can go look at any billionaire on this planet, and they got a laundry list of things they've built. And so if you're broke, it's because you've not built. bit.ly/blackcode. I'll be back at 3 p.m. Eastern time to interview yet another one of my clients. And we're going to keep these interviews going because I want you to be able to see the commonalities between you and some of these clients. And I want you to understand that, number one, not only do we have a ton of success stories from what we do, but number two, if they can do it, you can do it too. If they can free themselves, you can free yourself too. And that's the long and short of the matter. So see you guys this afternoon. Love you, fam. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.